Welcome to Cryptid Robot. My name is Andrew J. Robinson, and today we're going to be talking about the Uncharted movie. Very mild spoilers for Uncharted 4 while we're in here. Nothing major at all, just if you're completely trying to go into it blind, you can't if you watch this. Tom Holland, Spider-Man himself, has been cast as Nathan Drake in the upcoming Uncharted movie. And not in like some sort of a young prequel scene. It's actually an entire prequel movie to the games. My first reaction, this is a terrible idea. My second, slightly more thought out reaction, this is only probably a terrible idea. To make this movie work, Sony is going to need to do four main things. 1. Get Drake's personality right. This guy is an everyman, but he is actually anything but ordinary. He's cocky and confident, but he doesn't really like getting shot at. He plays dumb, but he's got books worth of treasure knowledge all in his head. He's got a very dark past, a very recently dark past given how young Tom Holland is, but he hides that darkness under very thick layers of sarcasm and wit. There's a lot of nuance to the character. 2. Focus on adventure. The games, especially the later ones, are really good at handling those small, quiet, tender sort of moments. You know what makes those moments work? The loud, epic mayhem of gunfights and gunslinging and jungle exploring, explosions, and awesomeness. That's what makes those fun. You gotta have those in this movie. It needs to be big and awesome. You know, in the games, I have personally, playing as Nathan Drake, been in an airplane fighting a bunch of bad guys who are all shooting me at once, and I'm dodging and I'm shooting back, and the back of the airplane like explodes, I think, and there's fire and stuff, and we all get sucked out, and then there's all these big crates, and we're jumping from one crate to the other, shooting at each other, fighting just to try and get a hold of a parachute that we can ride all the way down to the desert. It was intense, is what I'm saying. 3. Honor the series timeline. If we're gonna make this a prequel to the Uncharted games, Nate's got a brother, an older brother who he spent a lot of time with. You gotta make sure that he's actually there to make superfans happy. He doesn't have to be like in the whole thing. I know him and Sully didn't really get along very well, so he doesn't have to be there through the whole thing. But if we're pretending he doesn't have a brother, then we're doing it wrong. 4. This is not Indiana Jones. The Indiana Jones movies all have these great treasures that it turns out are connected to God or lowercase g gods, and the theme of the movies are that these religious artifacts and the deities they're connected to are above humanity, and we're not actually worthy to be around them. Hence why Indiana Jones covers his eyes in Raiders of the Lost Ark. Uncharted never goes that far. It is pseudo-supernatural at best, and there's a somewhat scientific explanation behind all of the big things that actually go down. The real theme of the Uncharted series is about Nathan Drake's obsession with adventure and the constant risks that he is taking that is putting himself in danger and everybody around him. The games are very good at giving you conflicting feelings. The adventure is wonderful and you love every single second of what you're doing. But at the same time, you really know Nathan Drake doesn't need to be there killing people and getting shot at. This is not actually where he belongs. The biggest treasures that Nate finds are almost always ancient super weapons. They're deadly. They are sometimes carrying zombie-like diseases. Sometimes they're carrying tree sap that make you into a superhuman, essentially. It's dangerous stuff. It is better left untouched. But Nate keeps going after it. Truly, I think this all stems from Nate's desire to prove himself. He did not have good parental figures in his life, especially once he ended up at the orphanage that he promptly escaped from before he became sort of like a street rat. Nate's in this game to obsessively try to connect himself with greatness. It's really kind of deep if you think about it. Sony, you've got a really good chance to make a good movie here. I do think that people will be able to take Tom Holland's version of Nathan Drake seriously as long as you're getting the character and the theming right. And I know you guys want to build a franchise, but please focus on this first movie and make it a solid story before you even start thinking about the sequels. So what do you guys think? Can Sony make a good Tom Holland, Nathan Drake Uncharted movie, or should they have just gone and hired Chris Pratt? Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Cryptid Robot. We'll be talking about more video game and movie ideas as we go along, as well as information about my book, Lucas Knight and the Reaper of Chaos, which is a big fantasy adventure. If you like Uncharted, this is not exactly the same type of book, but adventure and meaning are both there, so I think they got that in common. In the meantime, stay adventuresome out there.